many January the 6th sentences are below what is recommended by the federal sentencing guidelines. Most sentences, in fact, are below, sometimes far below, the prosecutor's recommendation. And so the January the 6th sentences reflect mercy. And despite penalizing such heinous acts, the January the 6th sentences reflect empathy. A rioter that prosecutors said helped push others toward the violence, used bear spray, and stole equipment from a federal police officer was told by the sentencing judge he was getting a break because of his age. Another rioter who stormed the Capitol building and proclaimed, "We took that bitch over," was told by a sentencing judge, "I don't think this sentence should ruin your life." And despite condemning the most treasonous of plots, the January the 6th sentences often embrace alternatives to incarceration. Both of those rioters I just mentioned received non-prison sentences. So did many others whose punishment for attempting to tear the heart of our democracy was probation, home detention, or fine. These sentences embraced alternatives. They were forged in empathy. They delivered mercy. So how is it that these sentences reveal injustice? Let me show you how. Consider the rioter that prosecutors said engaged in, quote, some of the most barbaric violence, quote, close quote, on January the 6th by forcibly dragging a police officer into a violent mob. He was sentenced to 90 months in prison. That's 2 years below the mandatory minimum for a kid who gets paid a few dollars to run a half a pound of crack across town. Some might say that's outrageous. Consider the rioter who recruited, directed, and encouraged the assault, who helped lead an attack that grievously wounded countless people. He was given a sentence of 18 years in prison. That's many years less than the federal sentences given out to black and brown men who did nothing more and get caught up in a stash house scheme concocted and orchestrated by law enforcement officers. That too, some may say, is outrageous. And consider the ink spilled in anger and disbelief over rioters having their lives destroyed by a prison sentence. Every day in federal district courts across this country, young people have years of their lives stripped away, not for committing treasonous attacks on our democracy, but for selling, frankly, what some believe are insignificant amounts of drugs or for illegally possessing a firearm. Few, if any, of these sentences cause the headlines of protests in local newspapers. Some would say that's absolutely outrageous. Let me be clear, because I don't want anybody to be walking out and saying that Judge Reeves has criticized his colleagues and stuff for imposing certain sentences. I'm not criticizing the judges who have had to deal with the January 6th cases. Compassion and understanding are the highest of virtues for everyone. They are qualities that judges hope to possess. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that what is outrageous, what is offensive, what might be disgraceful, is that our system's restriction of empathy, mercy, and alternative sanctions to the few rather than the many. That should be the outrage.